Hey, good morning everybody and welcome to the vlog. I hope the start of your day is absolutely incredible. You know, I'm going to start my day with my girl Tiana, the Lewis Eye hybrid, the Cyclura. And remember this girl? She was absolutely insane just like 4 weeks ago. I mean, you couldn't even get close to her. If you went up to her, she would just want to run away from you. Now she loves pets. She loves to just hang out with me and stuff like that. And what is the future going to hold with her? You know, in 5 weeks we went from her being terrified of us to now being like friends with us, almost like a Bella thing. But you know, it's interesting. Each lizard is completely different, right? You know, I mean, some lizards like Bella love pets, but just don't like to come out of the cage. I'm not sure where Tiana's going to fall here. We certainly have some rhino iguanas on the other side that are unbelievable and love coming out to play. And of course, like I mentioned, Diddy here and Dixie, they love to just come out and hang out on you. You can sit here and they'll literally climb on your lap. They'll run around on the floor. They're just a different animal. And again, every animal is a little bit different, right? I mean, some are going to be just kind of a petting animal. Other ones are going to be interactive. That's just the way it is. We worked really hard with Diddy and Dixie to get them more comfortable with being handled, being on top of people. I'm not so sure we're going to have that with Tiana or not, to be honest with you. Like I said, Bella is completely fine just being an animal that comes to the front of the cage and just hangs out and gets pets. But Diddy and Dixie are certainly more like my dogs, where they love to come out and hang on people. And we're open back up here at the Reptarium, which hopefully won't be too much longer. People can certainly interact with Diddy and Dixie and we can get pictures with people holding them. Tiana, well, that's yet to be seen. We'll see where things go with her. So yes, we have one clutch, and this is a cool clutch too. Whoo, doggy, I tell you what, that thing is amazing. This is actually a firefly that is het for ghost and possible het for clown. And let me show you the male she was bred to. It's actually a clown that's het for ghost. Now the clown ball python is a recessive mutation that has that kind of black stripe down it, kind of reduced pattern, but the head is the big part. Tracy over at VPI, Vita Precocious International, produced these for the very first time, and she said she thought it had like clown makeup on its head, hence the name clown. Now this one is also het for ghost, just like the female. And the ghost is another recessive mutation, sometimes called hypo as well, because it's basically just lacking a bunch of the melanin. So in this case, we could produce some ghost clowns as well as a combination of these two animals. It's a fire and it's a pastel that can produce a firefly. So we could actually produce firefly clowns. We could also produce ghost firefly clowns in there. So that's pretty exciting, right? And these are both incomplete dominant animals, meaning that the super version is a white snake for the fire and a super pastel for the pastel. But for now, we don't have to worry about that. We're just going for a firefly clown and a ghost firefly clown. Let's get back to this female. That is unbelievable. She's a beautiful snake, and that looks like a beautiful clutch of eggs too. So let's go ahead and take her down, and we can see what she actually has going on here. Oh man, I tell you what, some snakes just kind of pop, right? I mean, you just look at them and you just go, wow, that's a beautiful snake. And her wrapping around that beautiful clutch of white eggs right now, it's just, you know, putting a smile on my face. I'm not gonna lie. This is what snake breeders dream of right here. She's got that maternal instinct, so she's actually kind of protecting her eggs. We'll just slowly unwrap her, no big deal. Absolutely beautiful clutch of eggs here too. The fertility has been great this year, so I tell you what, I couldn't be more happy about this. And these are very fresh, and you can see Mama is coming over because she wants to protect her eggs, so I have to just be a little bit careful. And again, these are really fresh. I've talked about it before. You can almost feel a little bit of the moisture in them that will actually dry up in the next 6 or 7 hours. Ooh, come on, Mama, it's okay. It's all right, Mama. She's being a good mom. She's really protecting her eggs well. Get these eggs out of here, and we can get Mama all cleaned up and stuff like that. Make sure she doesn't have that egg smell on her. And I've talked about that before, is that, you know, they got that maternal instinct, and on them they have the smell of eggs. So if you wash them off a little bit, maybe even with some soap and stuff like that, that gets that smell off them, they go on to food super quick, get back to being kind of the rebound weight so that we can breed her again next year. Anyway, she has 2, 4, 6, 7 eggs. That is a pretty awesome clutch. So we've got some good potential there. Like I keep saying, 57 days from now, we'll be able to cut this clutch and hopefully we'll hit that ghost firefly clown. Another day, and RJ's just hanging out again. Hey RJ, it's okay. Don't worry, just hang out, okay? All right, I'll see you later, alligator. I guess we're back on Ivy shed watch here. This is day 2 of cleared up. Most snakes would have probably shed by now. Last time it took her 3 or 4 days. We'll see what happens this time. Ivy, what are you going to surprise me with this time?
Hey, so we actually got a baby today from these two. This is Leatherface and this is Scully. They're both orange blotch reticulated gargoyles and they're both a little spazzy, to be honest with you. But they're beautiful, and these guys have super weird genetics. It's all polygenic, meaning you're gonna do a lot of line breeding with them. So if you want to produce more that look like this, you're gonna just pair two that look alike. Their genetics don't track the way like leopard geckos do, where we'll have like dominants and recessives and all of that. It's not mapped out that way. So I can pair two stripes and get reticulateds and stripes, whereas these guys, I've paired them and they've only produced blotched geckos that look like them. I also have some pairs of like red-based stripes and all they produce is red-based stripes. So it's very, very weird and confusing, but it's also fun and makes things pretty interesting when you get to see the babies that pop out. But I'll show you their baby. So you can't see it right now. It will eventually develop those orange blotches that the two parents have. I can kind of see it now. It's probably a little hard to see on camera because he just looks like gray-blue, but it'll end up looking just like mom or dad.
There's so many females that are getting ready to lay, and every now and then I look at a particular animal and I think, oh, I cannot wait for this clutch. This girl is literally any day now. Now, she's only a pastel female, but she's bred to this incredible male. And it's this black pastel lesser bongo ball python that's the father. I just think getting it into another pastel gene to produce super pastel lesser leopard bongos would be absolutely crazy. So again, so many clutches I'm excited about, but hopefully this girl will lay by tomorrow, so fingers crossed. Wanted to give you a little update on Heinz, the Crimson Albino. Number one, it's absolutely amazing. It's actually in a shed right now, so it's a little bit dulled out, but looks incredible. But look at this tail right here. Remember he broke that tail off? I mean, that was like what? Just barely a month ago, and look at how much it's grown already. It's almost like if you didn't know it was broken, you would think it had a full tail. It really doesn't look radically different like I expected it to, and it's really coming together nicely. I mean, granted, this tail can get this long, so obviously it's got a long way to grow, but the fact that it grew literally, what, 1.25 inches, maybe close to 1.5 inches within a month, I'm sure within a month and a half, 2 months, it's going to be fully grown, and you can see it's socializing really, really well. It's a beautiful animal. We'll continue to keep working on it, but I am blown away. I was so bummed when his tail broke off, so I'm so happy now to see the progress and know that probably people won't even realize that it broke its tail off here in another couple months. Another day and some more colubrid eggs, which I absolutely love, and trust me, I've been doing this for a long, long time, and it never gets old. I mean, never, ever, ever gets old. This is actually a coral snow corn, and oh my God, some more beautiful eggs. Just take a look at this. Of course, that's that polygenic animal, right? I'll show you the male. This is it, that super pink animal. You can kind of compare the two, how pink he is compared to her. Now, she's a nice animal in her own right, but the fact is this is a high-end, really beautiful coral snow right here. So the baby should be really amazing. Let's get this male back. We'll pull these eggs and see how many she has. And again, I'm just going to pull mama off here. Good job, mom. And in the wild, these snakes are actually going to wrap around their eggs, kind of similar to this, but within a day or two, maybe 3 at the most, they're going to just leave the eggs, right? So basically with colubrids, unlike pythons that actually protect their eggs, they just find a good spot for their eggs that are going to be like in a tree trunk or some moss or something like that, and they're basically just going to kind of hang out. As soon as they regain their energy, they're going to leave those eggs. Those eggs are going to incubate there, hatch in about 60 days, and these babies are on their own. The mother's work is done, and she did an amazing job. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 beautiful pearly white eggs. This one, I am excited to see if she has good eggs. She is a beauty. Let's just take her out really quick and take a look and see what she's got going on. Let's see, come on, please, good eggs. Oh yeah, look at that. That is actually a candy cane Tessera corn snake that is possible had scaleless, bred to an albino scaleless. So we should be able to get some Tessera albino scaleless, some albino scaleless, and a mixture of other little critters there for sure. So gosh, that is beautiful. It's one of my favorite corn snakes. I know I say that all the time, but I really was super excited to see this girl, and I cannot be more excited. The fact that it looks like all 4 legs. Now we're going to have to candle a few of these guys because they obviously rolled around a little bit. So I'm going to take the big clump of eggs first. That looks really good. And you can see this is that stuff that Lori was using. We did end up finding sphagnum moss, so we're able to get sphagnum moss and we could start to use those. But these eggs here look like they're going to need to be candled. So we'll just go ahead, take these out separately. We'll take them into a dark room, look for the actual embryo at the top. I always talk about the fact that you want the embryo on top of the egg with the network of veins. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 eggs. Whew. tell you what, that is awesome. So it's week 2 of collecting gecko eggs, right?
Yep, so about to start.
About to start. Expecting better this year, usually fertility, or does it take a couple weeks usually?
It'll probably be a little better than last week,
Okay.
but it'll be like not significantly
Oh,
better,
okay,
you know
gotcha.
what I mean?
Understood, yep.
So I'm expecting, I think we got, what, 31 eggs last week? Probably a little more, like 45 eggs and 20-something slugs.
Okay, cool. So we're going in the right direction. Again, that's just gecko breeding. I'll leave you to it. I'll check back and see how many eggs she collected. So the good news is my caiman lizard is still in the enclosure, which is pretty good. By the way, we named him Mango, by the way. Mango is amazing, and we're going to see if he wants to get a little bit of a snail here. Come on, bud. You want? You want some snail? Come on, baby. And unfortunately, it sometimes does take a little time for an animal to adjust to a new enclosure. I mean, the temperatures are good, seems to be climbing around everywhere. Like I said, yesterday I thought I lost him again because he was hidden in a little crevice back over there, but thankfully he's still in here, so that's it's pretty good. But right now I don't think he wants any food, which is fine. He just ate yesterday before we put him in, so I think it's gonna be fine. So we'll try him again tomorrow and see what happens. This next girl's actually a Blotch king snake, or an Apalachicola County king snake. She's out of her nest box, so that tells me she's definitely done. And again, we'll clean this all up, get all the shed out, we'll get fresh water in with her, and probably these guys literally eat within 4 or 5 days. I mean, as soon as a matter of fact, they could probably eat today, to be honest with you. Corn snakes usually take about a week to actually get back onto food. King snakes usually eat the day they lay. And again, another gorgeous clutch. I tell you what, Lori is doing such an amazing job. And just so you guys, if you didn't know, Lori's doing all the breeding this year with the colubrids. So I've been taking over the python stuff. She's taken over colubrids, and she is crushing it. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 eggs. 11 eggs, that's good. These guys hatch quicker too, just like the Brooks Kings or South Florida King snakes. Usually 50, 52 days these guys are popping out. And this is actually bred to a blaze animal, so these guys should come out beautiful, red, amazing color. So again, the year keeps getting better. I talked about how we want to start working with ball training with some of our snakes. We obviously do the target training with the ball on the end of the stick with the monitor lizards. I think I'm going to start with Night Fury here, because you can see how unbelievably responsive he is. As soon as there's movement, he thinks there's food. So I need to take away that response, because the other day he actually nipped me when I went in there. I'm not going to lie. It was just a little nip, no big deal, and it was a food response. So I think the next time I feed Night Fury, I'm going to actually do it with a ball. It might take me a few times of him to understand that the ball relates to food. Not sure exactly how it's going to work with snakes because I've never done it, but I do think it can work, and I've been sent some videos from some zoos that have been absolutely spectacular. So definitely looking forward to this. So we're going to give that a try here in the next day or two, and hopefully we can take away this guy's food response when it comes to people's hands. Let's check on Jessica to see how the egg collecting went. How'd it go?
It went pretty well. Yeah,
Wait, how many
so we had 157 eggs.
Oh my gosh, that's way more.
Yeah, and 80 slugs. So it's still about half and half.
Yeah, about half and half, but still,
yeah,
that's
but it's still a lot more eggs.
That's a lot more eggs. I was expecting, you said like 40, 45.
Yeah, no, I wasn't expecting that many either.
Well, that's awesome. Well, hopefully next week our fertility will go up and we'll get, 170, 180 eggs with no slugs. So all right, good job. Way to go. These animals always keep me guessing, whether it's Ivy or the fact that Heinz is growing his tail back so quick. It's just absolutely amazing to me. If you enjoyed this video and you're getting a fix for snake egg cutting that's coming up pretty soon, here's a snake egg cutting playlist you guys can roll through. If you want, you can also subscribe to my podcast channel called Checking In. Subscribe to this channel all the time right over here by clicking this link right here. Have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember, be kind to someone, and I promise I'll see you guys tomorrow.